Welcome to the Humanergy Leadership Podcast. My name is David Wheatley. We're here to talk leadership in small, bite-sized and practical chunks. Enjoy.
Welcome to this episode of the Humanergy Leadership Podcast. This week I want to tell a story that's been around in the business world for a long time and then beat it up a little bit. So the story is called the three envelope story, and it's the idea that somebody gets fired, and as they're walking out the building, they happen across their replacement coming in, and because they're a nice person, they say, "Hey, I've done for you what my predecessor did for me, and that is I prepared three envelopes and numbered them 1, 2, 3, put them in your office desk. I tell you, if you're ever struggling with what to do, open the envelopes in sequence. They may help you out." And the incoming leader thinks nothing much of this, just appreciates it and goes about his business or her business without any concern. And this is okay for a few months, but then things start to downturn a little bit, and he's not quite got folks working where they should be. And so he's opening his drawer one day and happens to see these envelopes, and so opens the first one, and it says, "Blame everything on the last guy." So he goes out there and he blames everything on the last guy, and productivity picks up and things are good for a few months, but then they slow back down again and the trajectory's going negative. And so he thinks, well, the first envelope worked, let me try the second one. And he opens the second envelope and it says, "Reorganize everything." And so he goes out there and reorganizes everything, and things pick up again and they're good for a few months. But then inevitably it all deteriorates again and starts to fall down. And so he thinks, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'm going to go for the third envelope. And he opens it up and it says, "Prepare three envelopes." Now, I love that story because I've seen it happen in real time way too many times. But what I don't like about the story is it actually deals with some of the wrong things. The envelopes, if you think about it, are addressing the symptoms, so what you're seeing, and not the culture. And as people go in, and when we're working with people who are new in an environment, one of the things that we will drive is that culture is a direct reflection of the leadership activity. And so what activity are you doing to bring people around a common goal and to get them focused in the right direction? Now, that might mean reorganizing some things, but you're reorganizing it based on an accurate picture of what you're trying to achieve. And if you haven't taken a chance to read What Great Teams Do Great yet, we call it the setup box, which looks at what our current reality is, what we're trying to achieve and why, and what any non-negotiable expectations of behavior would be, as well as getting to know the people around the table. And so the blame is blaming the predecessor is a red path behavior. The reorganizing is a lack of focus on what's really needs to happen. And the preparing three envelopes is a consequence of not focusing in the right way on the team in the right order and getting them operating in a way that makes sense for success. So if you hear the three envelope story, you may have a giggle and a laugh and you may be familiar with it, but just remember that dealing with symptoms doesn't necessarily help if there's a root cause. And that root cause is that people aren't strongly aligned around what you're trying to achieve. And if you want more on that, dig into What Great Teams Do Great, and it will give you a lot more tips as to how to build that. Thanks for listening.
That was the Humanergy Leadership Podcast. My name's David Wheatley. For further information about Humanergy, go to humanergy.com or check out our latest book, What Great Teams Do Great, from all good bookstores. Have a good one. Stay healthy.